kibiribiri. Ni vipi wameua halafu baadaye wakavaa max wakaingia kwa kibiribiri?
Na pesa zao zile walizokuwa nazo wamepokonywa. Toolbox kama Ibrahim na toolbox yake, hizo pesa zilienda wapi na simu?
So was she traveling in the night when we were sleeping that we never saw her? She must have gone by air and even opened the doors by herself and came back by. She had never even traveled in the 3 years. She had never gone anywhere. We are yearning to see the justice. It is 5 years now.
Nikaenda nikamkuta mwanangu amelala, kama kwamba amelala atainuka.
Sikumwona bwanangu. Nilipoenda kwa the second corridor ndani, nikaenda nikamkuta bwanangu amelala na watu 3 wengine.
Sikia vibaya sana. Sisikii vizuri kabisa. Naona kama mwanangu amekufa leo.
My sister is the only one who got 7 bullets.
Sasa walipokuja kuambiwa kwamba ni majambazi, hata wale askari polisi wenyewe pale waliteta sana.
Tonight on Casefiles, they were ordered out of a small tuk-tuk and shot in the head by hooded men. The men, police officers from a crack unit in Nairobi at the time, maintained they had killed notorious gangsters in Malindi town. Despite a judicial inquest finding them culpable of killing innocent people, nothing has moved. 6 years later, Casefiles, the Malindi Five, starts now. A small dusty road in the heart of Malindi town captures the real picture of a town that is famous for its rich tourist attractions and a high number of poor people. A few kilometers away from here is the scene of a broad daylight killing that thrust the quiet town into the national limelight on the 12th of November 2007. A group of 4 young men and a woman were gunned down by a group of police officers from Nairobi. The local police officers had no idea what had transpired until a team of about 5 fellow officers who identified themselves as a special crack unit, the Special Crime Prevention Unit, announced they had just gunned down 5 hardcore criminals. The team handed to the local police a G3 assault rifle. Having done what they described as a commendable job, the Nairobi team left Malindi town. The shootout, as described by the police, had taken place at 1 p.m, minutes after the local population was stepping out for lunch, others heading to the local mosque for the lunchtime prayers. Eyewitnesses did not buy the idea. Media teams that arrived at the scene of the shootout captured 5 dead bodies lying side by side. The lady appeared to have been shot several times than the rest of the robbery victims. The residents of Kisumu Dogo got wind of the identities of the 5 people who were killed that afternoon. Carrying the bodies away became a difficult order for the local police officers. The residents here engaged them in running battles. The locals were claiming that the police had killed innocent people. The police maintaining they had eliminated armed gangsters whom they had linked to a spate of robberies in Malindi town. HUSNA ATIENO told Casefiles she had left her husband Ibrahim DAUDI CHARO at home as she headed for the bank.
Sasa ilivyokuwa imefika saa 7 niko katika bank najaribu kumpigia nakuta yeye ni mteja. Lakini katika ile queue wale wenzangu walikuwa kwa mbele, watu walikuwa wazungumza kuhusu mambo ya watu wameuliwa, lakini sikujua nazungumzia nini na nisikuwa niko na interest na kusikiza story yao. Sasa nilipofika mbele nimeshalipa pesa kwa bank, tulikuwa tunafungua account, ndio nikapata simu kwa one of my tenants, anipigia simu ananiambia kwamba bwanako amekufa. Hakuniambia ameuawa, ananiambia bwanako amekufa, na kakata simu.
At the time, HUSNA says it was not clear how the husband had died. She says the man had left home that morning in high spirits. Ibrahim DAUDI CHARO was 38 years old and had 3 children.
Tukachukua tuktuku hapo, mwenye tuktuku akasema kama ni hao ni waizi wameuliwa 7 wako Malindi Hospital. Tukashika njia tukaenda paka Malindi Hospital. Tulipofika, the first 2 people sikuwajua, kuna mwanamke alikuwa amelala amesonga rasta na kijana mwingine ambao sikujua ni nani, lakini walikuwa wamekufa tayari wamelazwa. Sikumuona bwanangu. Nilipoenda kwa the second corridor ndani, nikaenda nikamkuta bwanangu amelala na watu 3 wengine.
The husband had been shot several times. The shots appear to have been fired as the victim knelt down. It would later emerge that the bodies of the other 4 people were those of HUSSEIN Mohamed Doro, Robert Karioki Gadogo, Jacqueline Kenyan Angila, and Rama Amin. HUSNA says the husband worked in a local casino as an electrician. That morning he had been picked up by his neighbor, a tuk-tuk driver, before he met his death in the hands of police officers.
Alikuja asubuhi akabisha kwa sababu analala mahali pengine. Akaja akabisha akasalimia, mmelala salama, tumelala salama. Akabisha, mmelala salama, tumelala salama. Mimi natoka nendao kwa ile mipango yetu. Mipango ilikuwa ni ya nyumba kwa sababu ya paa. Akamwambia ni sawa, lakini kama saa 7 nitakuwa mimi sharudi. Basi kutoka hapo akaenda, hatuna habari yoyote, sisi tunatoa fuata shughuli zetu sio. Baadaye mimi nikateremka Malindi.
The father of 3 says he had taken a walk with a fellow friend to town, and on returning, instead of using the normal route home, they decided to take another road as they chatted away.
Kufika mbele hatujamaliza sawa tunasikia risasi. Yeye anasema ni baiskeli. Hiyo ni baiskeli imebust. Nikamwambia hapana, hiyo si mlio wa bust. Hiyo ni bunduki. Ikalia tena. Nikamwambia umesikia? Hiyo si baiskeli. Sasa lakini tunapanda tu. Tukaja zetu mpaka tukipata pale mlimani kabisa, tumepanda mlima tukakuta watu wameshajazana tele. Tukiuliza nini pale kuna kisanga. Tukitaka kuenda, polisi wote wakatuzingira, hata na mabunduki kwamba mrudi nyuma.
Tulipopanda tulipofika hapa mlimani, wakuta watu wengi sana hapa mlimani. Watoka huku mbio waenda kule chini. Sasa tukitaka kwenda kuangalia pale, jamaa hutuangalia na bunduki namna hii. Watufukuza.
Little was known to them that in fact the sound they had heard was that of gunfire. Gunfire that would later claim the lives of their 2 sons.
Ni watu gani ambao wamekufa pale? Tukiuliza hawa askari nasema ni majambazi sugu. Kamwambia ni sawa. Sisi tukarudi. Sasa kurudi tukashikana sisi tukawachana, yeye akaingia kwake na mimi nikaja zangu hapa. Lakini kufika hapa kuna wengine ambao walikuwa wameona kwamba hawa watoto ni hawa wetu.
It wasn't until a neighbor made a mistake and informed Mohamed RC that among the 5 people killed that day was his dear son, the family's sole breadwinner.
Hussein amekufa. Hussein amekufa. Akanambia njoo twende. Yule akanambia hapana, wacha na hiyo, si Hussein hakufa. Akatokea mtoto wangu mkubwa akanambia si Hussein, ni mtu yani kama kunizuia. Akanambia si Hussein aliyokufa. Wote wakanishika mkono, pata mbele kule kuna mtu ana gari, akanitia garini, tukaenda mpaka hospitali. Tukiingia ndani ndio nikaenda nikamkuta mwanangu amelala. Kama kwamba amelala akainuka. Nikastahimili, akanambia tulia. Kaambia ni sawa. Tukaangalia pale vile ilivyo mpaka tukamaliza.
Mohamed Erisi Mohamed says the son Mohamed worked as a carpenter in town. That morning was to be the last time that the father set his eyes on him. The son was dead, and with that, a father's dreams. In a twisted tale of events, in the tuk-tuk that afternoon was a young girl, aged only 24. Jacqueline Kenyan Angila was the only woman in the tuk-tuk that material day.
Basically, while at work, we switch off our phones. So somebody kept on calling me, but I couldn't. I kept on switching it off because I wanted to wait for 3:30. Then I could switch on my phone. But then what happened was it was persistent. And the lady who then communicated to me said Robert had been shot dead. Robert being one of them. And I knew Robert was my sister's boyfriend. Then I was like, why and where? No, it was not shot dead. It was kidnapped. That's how it came in. So the moment I got that, I rushed out. But the colleagues had known, but they didn't want to tell it to me.
The young woman was the girlfriend to Robert Gadhogo, one of the slain men. Gadhogo was the man riding the tuk-tuk when they were felled by police bullets. The two, Robert and Jacqueline, had been long-time lovers, and according to the sister, it was routine for Robert to drop Jacqueline home for lunch and later take her back to work.
Met a certain lady also who was a florist where this younger sister used to work. And then she was like, Bridget, how was Lynn dressed in the morning? We used to call her Lynn. And I described her, and there was like, did she have red nail polish? Yes. And she's done her hair long? Yes. Was she in blue jeans? Then I was like, no, I don't know, because I used to leave early. So then she didn't talk to me again. So we rushed out in a tuk-tuk, proceeded. Then we were told they were not in the police cells, they were in the mortuary. Now he was dead. So you see, in this sense, I'm not seeing my sister, I'm only seeing Robert.
The youngest to die during the 12th of November 2007 shooting was Rama Ibrahim. The man was only 18 years old when armed police officers had them waylaid, forced them out of a tuk-tuk and shot them several times.
Kijana wangu hakuwa mwizi, na naamini kwa sababu ikiwa mimi mwenyewe si mwizi, siwezi mkubalia awe mwizi.
With locals adamant that the police might have executed innocent people, the government gave in to pressure and set up an inquest before a magistrate. By the time a judicial inquest was winding up its hearings in a Kilifi court, it had become a nightmare for family members of the 5 victims. The police officers implicated in their murder constantly had them trailed and terrorized. The J. Gandani public inquest attracted a total of 18 witnesses who recounted before the court what they saw or heard on that material day. Catherine Kathemba told the court that she saw a white vehicle trailing a tuk-tuk before it had it blocked, and out of it came hooded men. The men then ordered the occupants, 5 of them, out of the tuk-tuk. Catherine told the court the 5 had their hands raised up. The 5, according to the witness, were forced to lie down side by side. The police officers then shot them at close range. Moments later, the other police officers, now donning police uniform, showed up at the scene of the shooting and took away the bodies. A senior police officer told the public inquest that sat in a Kilifi court that on the material day, he had received a phone call that police officer had gunned down notorious gangsters. When the officer arrived at the scene, one of the police officers, only identified as Maina, told him they had indeed killed 5 gangsters. The officer claimed they were acting on a tip-off. The police officer handed the senior policeman a gun, a G3 assault rifle. The officer claimed the gun had been recovered from the 4 slain men and a woman. A pathologist who appeared before the court told the inquest that the 5 were all shot in the head and several parts of their bodies. Its conclusion, they had been victims of multiple gunshot wounds. When the accused police officers appeared before the principal magistrate, each of them claimed they had got credible information that Hussein Mohamed Ndoro, Robert Karioki Gadhogo, Jacqueline Akenyi Nangila, Ibrahim Charo, and Rama Amin were on a mission to commit a robbery. The police officers claimed they challenged them to stop. The 5 emerged with a gun out of the tuk-tuk. The police officers had no choice but to shoot back, killing the 5 of them on the spot.
Nasikia vibaya sana. Sisikii vizuri kabisa. Naona kama mwanangu amekufa leo. Vile ninavyosikia moyoni mwangu. Kabisa mwanangu. Sikudanganyi mimi. Kabisa.
The officers would later claim that they had trailed the 5 from Nairobi before having them killed in cold blood. It is not clear how the 5 traveled in a tuk-tuk from Nairobi and carrying a G3 rifle, a firearm that cannot be easily concealed.
Is the only one who got 7 bullets from the postmortem, a girl in the boys. How many do you need even to shoot the leg? Then you take for interrogation. She was taken as a thug who does not have anything and killed.
None of the key witnesses saw the police officers kill the 5 people. But the fact that the police officers showed up at Malindi police station with a gun and details of the shooting, the trial magistrate placed them at the scene of the killing. The magistrate ruled that the police officers identified as Chief Inspector Zabed Maina, Sergeant Peter Mudhe, Corporal Isaac Sang, and Corporal Mbogo had killed innocent people. The principal magistrate wondered why they had to shoot their victims in the head, yet the 5 did not pose any immediate danger to the police officers. The victims were known to each other. Their parents were childhood friends, so were some of the victims. What was shocking, not a single bullet mark was traced on the tuk-tuk used by the 5 people whom police had branded as gangsters out to commit a robbery. None of the police officers Zabed Maina, Peter Mudhe, and Corporal Sang suffered any injuries during the alleged shootout, but their victims suffered fatal gunshot wounds. On the 18th of April 2011, the Kilifi-based judicial inquest concluded its hearings. The verdict: the 4 police officers were guilty of taking the lives of 5 innocent people. 5 people the principal magistrate told the police officers they had executed in cold blood. The magistrate directed that the 4 police officers be tried for the murder of 5 innocent civilians killed in cold blood on suspicion they were on a mission to commit a felony.
We noted because the people from Malindi noted those people because they must have seen the people who had done the crime. And among them, the first time we went to Kilifi, they were spotted. And because we were so eager to know who they were, one of us tried taking a shot of his face. This person, the person's phone was taken and he was put in remand. And since that time, like, the relationship was very hostile. They knew us and they would follow us in everything we do. Wherever we go, they would follow us. And then it reached a time now, if we have to travel back, we can't use the same matatu. Like, we all walk a distance and people get in different matatus.
Casefiles has since established that the chief inspector was promoted to the position of a deputy criminal investigations officer and posted to Western Kenya. The other police officers were also promoted and posted to various police stations across the country.
This is a child I've taken to school in a family of 9. I was the second born, and all the same have passed through my hands. I've stayed with them. I'm the one who called her from the village, stayed with me in Mombasa, brought her here, took her to college, and I'm the one who pays rent. Like, I know how much she earns, and even what she was earning, she was not earning like every month. I did her dressing, everything. She's a baby I brought up. and I knew her friends. She's a person who did not even have, she could not tell you like, I'm going to visit so-and-so. From Kate's place, Jadin Lona, she would come home, and it's a walking distance. There is no single day she ever went out by herself. No single day she introduced me to somebody as a friend. So to me, it was good shock.
An inquest that expressly recommended that murder charges be preferred against the 4 police officers appears to have been ignored.
Ni vile tunavyosikia, sisikii vizuri kabisa. Ulala nikiinuka namuona mwanangu huyu. Hasa siku nikilala na ndaa namkumbuka. Singelala na ndaa kama mwanangu yu hai. Sisikii vizuri. Sina raha. Na sijui matokeo ni nini. Ni serikali. Serikali nitaiweza mimi. Sina shilingi.
The alleged killers of Hussein Mohamed Ndoro, Robert Karioki Gadhogo, Jacqueline Kenyan Angila, Ibrahim Charo, and Rama Amin are still free men. Free men 3 years since the court in Cliffy ruled that they should stand trial for the murder of innocent people. Things have not been easy for 5 family members and the many dependents, the 4 slain men, left in the hands of their wives. The killing in Kisumu Ndogo has not escaped the minds and hearts of those who lost their loved ones here. The families say justice appears to have been served, but only sparingly.
Who is going to give us justice? I don't know. I don't know. There is no justice in Kenya. That is all I can say. There is no justice in Kenya. Maybe if it starts now, but there is no justice in Kenya. Because what it seems like, if I do it, if I had money, maybe I would go shooting them also, or getting people to assassinate them. But who am I? I'm not known anywhere. I just have to plod on and cry on the ground.
The family lacks the clout to compel the Director of Public Prosecutions to order the prosecution of the 4 police officers. Mohamed Erisi was one of the finest carpenters in Kisumu Ndogo. His friends, Robert Karioki Gadhogo, Jacqueline Kenyan Angila, Ibrahim Charo, and Rama Amin, all killed in cold blood. Their mistake, they were in the same tuk-tuk at the wrong place and according to a group of police officers on the wrong side of the law. The events of November 2007, almost 6 years later, appears forgotten by the local population here, but the scars of the bloodletting witnessed on this road is stuck with the family of the 5, to whom justice is now an alien word. Casefiles has formally written to Keriako Tobiko, the Director of Public Prosecutions, seeking to know why it has taken this long to carry out a court directive. For the family of the 4 slain men and 1 woman, justice appears too close, yet too far. The Malindi Five is now a case filed. I'm Dennis Onsarigo. Good evening.